So, in our discussion in Introduction to India's Foreign Policy, another very interesting and very important topic is the concept of Panchsheel and its present day relevance. So, Panchsheel and its present day relevance, and what Chinese are doing with this Panchsheel. They came up with a very interesting term on 50 years of Panchsheel in 2004. They came out with a term called Heping Jueki. Heping Jueki. So, Panchsheel and Heping Jueki, that is what I would like to discuss in this particular video. Very interesting as part of the initial, and is it relevant today? Yes, it is definitely relevant. And how is it playing out? So, that is what I would like to talk in this Panchsheel discussion. So, Panchsheel means this 5 principles of peaceful coexistence. 5 principles of peaceful coexistence. So, a penta head, we can say 5 principles of peaceful coexistence. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 principles. And see, these are this is basically for a good relationship between good neighborly relationship between 2 countries. That is where we are talking about these 5 principles. And these 5 principles were first promulgated, or rather accepted and acknowledged and codified for the first time in 1954 between India and China, when Prime Minister, our Prime Minister Nehru and the Chinese Premier at that time, the Zhou Enlai, Chinese Premier Zhou Enlai, they signed an agreement in 1954. In fact, that was in the preamble of the agreement on trade and intercourse between Tibet region of China and India, between Tibet and India in 1954 in Beijing in April 1954. In April 1954, they signed this treaty. In fact, after signing that, there was a Colombo conference, and immediately after that they elaborated it in that Colombo conference about what is this Panchsheel all about. So, Panchsheel is is an agreement between India and China for good neighborly relations, which was signed in 1954. There are 5 principles. One is mutual respect for each other's territorial integrity and sovereignty. First is mutual respect. Mutual respect for each other's territorial integrity. Number 2 is mutual non-aggression. Mutual non-aggression. Number 3, mutual non-interference in each other's internal affairs. Mutual non-interference in each other's internal affairs. Number 4, equality and mutual benefit. Equality and mutual benefit. And number 5, peaceful coexistence. So, this is our Panchsheel. So, 5 principles of good neighborly relations. So, this Panchsheel agreement serves as one of the most important relation building exercise. It served as a good relation building exercise between India and China. It led to some sort of economic and security cooperation also. But of course, things went wrong in 1962, finally it ended up in a war, that is okay. But in 1950s, it served as a good exercise, or served as a important relation building exercise. And the underlying assumption of these 5 principles was that these newly independent India and China, especially after the decolonization, would be able to develop a new and a more principled approach towards international relations. So, Panchsheel has helped India and China to move in a new and principled approach in bilateral relations. We are able to move in a new and principled approach in bilateral relations. And of course, as I said, Nehru and Zhou Enlai were in the forefront in signing and promoting this. In fact, subsequently in the Bandung Conference, these 5 principles were taken up during the 1955 Bandung Conference, Afro-Asian Summit. In the Bandung Conference or the Afro-Asian Summit, these 5 principles were adopted as part of the Bandung Declaration. So that shows the seriousness. And later on, these 5 principles were part of our original principles and objectives of non-aligned movement. They became part of the non-aligned movement. They are also part of the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation. Treaty of Amity and Cooperation signed by the ASEAN countries. Treaty of Amity and Cooperation signed by the ASEAN countries. So these are good principles. It can be applied everywhere. Between 2 countries, it can be part of a larger organization like NAM, 120 countries, ASEAN, 10 countries. So there are multiple utility, and it is Nehru, Prime Minister Nehru was credited for pushing for this kind of a treaty with China, the 5 principles of good neighborly relations. But unfortunately, because of the 1962 war, the Chinese aggression, this Panchsheel was discredited also. It is very difficult for Indian leaders to talk about the Panchsheel subsequently, especially the Congress leaders never said about that, because they felt that this is also a symbol of the Chinese aggression and the loss of war of 1962. So that is why, so it was in 1954, in 2004, when the 50 years of the Panchsheel came, UPA government was in power, but unfortunately they did not even celebrate the Panchsheel because it reminded everybody of the 1962 war and the treachery and the backstabbing of Chinese, despite this kind of an agreement with them between India and China. But to counter that negative feeling, China came up with a new philosophy and a new term called Heping Jiueqi in 2004. So this Heping Jiueqi means in Chinese China's peaceful rise. China's peaceful rise. The rise, China is rising, but a peaceful rising. It is not a threat to anybody. That is what China wanted to promote in 2004 on 50 years of the Panchsheel. So it is referred to China's peaceful development or Chinese leadership. Especially at that time, the new leader, the Hu Jintao, wanted to promote to the rest of the world that China's growth, China's economic development, military development is not a threat to anyone. China is rising peacefully. China will be able to, or Chinese rise can be easily accommodated by the rest of the world. There is no threat to anyone. That is what China wanted to tell in 2004. So that philosophy continued during Hu Jintao's time. In fact, Hu Jintao as president of China came in 2003 and he continued till 2013. But subsequently in 2013, Xi Jinping came to power. But Xi Jinping is more aggressive. He is, they are having a totally different philosophy altogether right now. So this Heping Jiueqi, the peaceful rise, which was promoted and propagated by China during 2004 or rather during Hu Jintao's time, has partly been abandoned by China right now. That is the present day, in fact, especially in South China Sea and in Central Asia, and even in surrounding in Doklam issue between India and China, where China is not showing its peaceful rise. In many a times, China is showing its muscle power. China is trying to behave like a aggressive state. Aggression is visible in Chinese policies today. But in Panchsheel, in Heping Jiueqi, China is showing their softer face. A soft diplomacy is visible in these in Panchsheel as well as in Heping Jiueqi. But right now it looks like China has abandoned that soft look and the Chinese are becoming very aggressive in many fields, especially in South China Sea, in Central Asia, in Belt and Road Initiative, in Doklam issue between India and China. So they are not showing their softer face, they are showing their aggressive face and the muscle power, not the soft face of the soft diplomacy is not been shown here. So anyway, so Panchsheel is part of our good neighborly relation and accommodative spirit, non-aggression. Heping Jioeki again, non-aggression. But what is going on right now, even in Indian perspective, from India, under Prime Minister Modi, more aggressive stand we are taking with Pakistan, Balakot attack, and wherever that muscle power is visible. Chinese are also trying to do the same thing. So even Trump is doing the same thing. So this is an era of more aggressive leaders in the world right now. Trump's attack on Iran and the killing of the Iranian, the Secret Service agent leader. So these are indications of aggressiveness being shown by leadership, not that soft power diplomacy which is being there. So Panchsheel still relevant. Heping Jioeki, Chinese promoted during Hu Jintao's time in the last decade, but right now they may not be pursuing that much. So that is about this Panchsheel and Heping Jioeki. Nice and interesting area.